Welcome to beautiful Busch Stadium for this 1998 matchup between the San Francisco Giants and the St. Louis Cardinals. Now for the Giants starting lineup.
Darryl Hamilton, pretty good leadoff hitter. Bill Miller was the hero 2 nights ago, the young man from DeSmet. He'll be at third base, and you see the rest. Bonds, Kent, and Snow in the middle. Shawn Estes will pitch to Brian Johnson today. And defensively, the Cardinals with Willie McGee in left, Ray Langford in center field, Ron Gant in right field, Mabry, Clayton, DeShields, and McGuire. Tom Pagnozzi is your catcher. We're going to flip that back around. Gant will actually be in his customary left field position, and McGee in right behind Mark Petkovsek. He is 2-1 as a starter. The ERA up a bit, and Ozzie, if he gets that sinker working, Cardinals will be in good shape. Watch for a lot of ground ball outs.
Yeah, this is his fourth start of the 98 campaign, his 34th of his career. And he had career strikeout high on August 19th, I believe, of 1995 against this same Giants team. So, up.
This copyrighted the St. Louis Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without Ozzie's consent. And the Cardinals have something to say about it, too. Bright day here at Busch Stadium. Again, we hope the thunderstorms stay away. There is a threat of weather in the area. We've seen that over the weekend as Darryl Hamilton steps in to face Mark Petkovsek. Hope you're having a splendid Memorial Day with family and friends. And the first pitch of the game called strike. We're underway right on time. 1:10 at Busch Stadium. Tex, they call it. It's ahead. 0-2, and with Petkovsek, control is everything. Not an overpowering pitcher. He likes to throw the ball belt down in the strike zone and get the sinker working. Ground ball, one hop to Shield, should be easy. One away.
It's a good start to the day.
Good start to a splendid Memorial Day. Huh, Ozzie? We've got a big crowd at Busch Stadium. A lot of folks wearing red T-shirts here. Langford's name on the back of many of them.
Well, it's a Langford kind of day, I guess.
We hope. It was last night. This is Bill Miller slashing. Mabry in on the grass at third. Two gone.
Well, Rich, you'll hope to see a lot of that today with Mark Petkovsek on the mound throwing sinker balls. Probably see a lot of ground balls. We see a lot of ground balls. It means Mark's sinker is working.
And what a wild couple of games we've had in this series. Things looked so good on Friday night. A great performance by Kent Mercker. And then into the 9th inning, Bill Miller hits that 2-run home run. I know a lot of folks in St. Louis root for Miller, but I wasn't rooting for him then.
No. You know, the thing that get lost was the fact that Kent Mercker finally threw the ball the way that everybody's expected him to throw the ball. And as we see the switch here, Clayton throws out Barry Bonds.
Shift was on. Clayton left side of the bag gets Bonds. 1-2-3 for the Cardinals, and it's their turn to hit.
You're watching Mark McGuire and the St. Louis Cardinals battling the San Francisco Giants from May of 1998 on ESPN Classic.
Giants go 1-2-3 in their half of the first. Cardinals turn coming up. Cardinals last night spotted the Giants 3 runs and then scored 4 times. A lot of runs early. As we take a look at our Southwest Airlines lineup, Gant, DeShields, McGuire, Langford, McGee playing in right field today. Pagnozzi, Mabry, Clayton in the pitcher, Mark Petkovsek. Here's how the Giants set up defensively. That's a good defensive outfield, especially Barry Bonds in left. You hear so much about his hitting. I don't know that there's ever been a left fielder that good. And they'll play behind Shawn Estes. He was a remarkable pitcher last year, and this year off to a slow start at 3-5. But Ozzie, he's overpowering and will give the Cardinals fits.
Well, he's very, if he's on his game, as he struggled a little bit this year, but this guy's capable of shutting anybody down when he's on.
That Dusty Baker does some job, doesn't he, Anna?
Because he's a good manager, and I think that you know, having played gives him an edge on being able to deal with players, and you never hear anybody say, any player that has played for him, have anything bad to say about how he relates to players, which is very important.
Yeah, I heard you talk with Bob Carpenter Friday night. By the way, Bob Carpenter not with us today. He had family commitments on this Sunday. One of the makeup games that we have for you along the Cardinals network due to rainouts. As Ron Gant takes a ball high, 1-1. So we wish Bob and his family well. They're at a big graduation in the Carpenter family, and he'll be back with us in San Diego next week. Fastball up and away. You move Ron Gant to the leadoff position, and he has responded. I talked to Ron the other night, Ozzie in Philadelphia. He says he really doesn't care when he hits. I know some hitters do.
Well, you know, it really doesn't matter. The only time that it matters where you hit the line is the first time through.
Yeah.
After that, you know, you just want to get your 4 at bats. You get 4 at bats, be it 3rd, 4th, 5th, or wherever in the lineup.
He can set on one here. Hitters count 3-1. And he rocks one into center field. Base hit. So Gant does what the leadoff hitter should do. He gets aboard, and the Cardinals with something going here in the first.
Does a good job of just taking this ball right back up the middle. Didn't try and pull it. Didn't overswing. Ronnie's in a good groove right now, and if he stays right there, then he can become that player that everybody thought that he would when he came over here.
DeShields steps in. Will Miller even with a bag at third and creeps up on the grass as Delino takes a strike. He's been bothered with a hip injury. .336 average, a couple of home runs. So after a couple of days off, back comes Delino, and they'll play him to hit the other way.
With a guy like this with a short step to the plate, he's a left-hander too. You know, it makes it very tough to steal a base off a guy like this. So as a manager, I would probably try and start the runner here rather than straight steal.
1-2 the count. Yeah, Estes has a very good move. He is a young pitcher, was an all-star last year, and Tony La Russa's bench is depleted. We'll tell you about that as the game goes along. He's got a lot of injuries on that bench. Not many options today. Making pitch just missed. Ryan Jordan is injured. David Howard has an injury. Gary Gaetti, of course, the eye injury. So those three you can't count on. DeShields hacks one into the seats down the left side. I watched Brian today, Ozzie. He had ice all over everything. They should have just put him in a big cooler.
You know, we talked about him. He gets hurt more playing baseball than he did playing football.
I think he does. He's running into walls last night. But he only knows one speed, you know. That's all out.
That's exactly right. I think that that was the thing that you worry about most with Brian after having that back injury and all of the ailments he had last year was his coming back and being an all-out type of player. You know, sometimes he doesn't know when to throttle back. And it's a good sign, I guess, when he starts running in the walls again and he's feeling pretty good.
Counts full. Pretty good lead by Delino. See if they start the runner. He holds. Double play ball, but DeShields can fly out at second. Safe at first on a close play. So Delino hustling all the way. And a good job by Ron Gant to bother the shortstop.
Well, the thing that you had here, Jeff Kent had to go too far to his left here to be able to turn it. And with the way that DeShields runs, it makes it very tough to be able to double him off.
You can tell by the reaction who's stepping up. Mr. Mack. He made a lot of people very full the other night with a towering home run into Big Mac land. I think all of St. Louis probably converged on McDonald's and wanted a free sandwich. Even guys who weren't at the game. Base hit. A rocket past third. So first pitch swinging. And DeShields and McGuire are aboard. Let's go back to the double play, Ozzie, and watch what happens with a potential double play.
Well, it was one of those vicinity plays.
Little neighborhood, huh?
Yeah, one of those vicinity plays. And 9 times out of 10, if you stay relatively close to the base, they'll give you that call.
2 hits in the inning for the Cardinals against Shawn Estes. Estes, 25 years old. He was picked up from Seattle for Solomon Torres back in 1995. Was an all-star, as I said, last year. Won 19 games and gets ahead of Ray Langford. Langford's been doing a much better job last year and this hitting left-handers.
Yeah, he's worked on it quite a bit. He spends a lot of time in the cage, and it's starting to pay off for him.
Langford takes a ball, has a 9-game hitting streak going. A lot of Cardinals with hitting streaks. DeShields has hit safely in 6 in a row. McGuire now with that single has a 6-game hitting streak going. You know, ordinarily those are tremendous numbers, but McGuire's numbers are so far out of whack it pales in comparison, and you can say that about a lot of guys in the National League, Ozzie, having good years.
It's just his presence is so dwarfing. You know, he's just taking
literally,
yeah, he's just kind of taking this whole thing by storm, this whole league, really.
It's been fun. Two and one, the count to Langford. And he missed with it. This is what Estes does. He led the National League in walks. You'll see him up around 100 pitches in the 5th, 6th inning. He works very deep into a great many counts. Has a good fastball and slider, pretty good change. And he walked him. I love the theme music for this guy. Dusty Baker probably doesn't know it much, even though Willie McGee is one of Dusty's favorite players. Delino, Mack, and Ray Langford on base as Willie McGee steps in right-handed. Drive through, base hit. DeShields will score. They'll hold McGuire at third. The Cardinals lead 1-0, and the bases remain full for Ozzie's buddy, who gets the job done once again. Boy, what a treat it is to watch this professional hitter, Willie McGee.
Like old man River. He just keeps rolling along. Just a lousy single to right field.
And nothing lousy about it.
Yeah, well, you know, he just does his thing. He uses his hands very well right there. You notice he didn't stride much. He just put the ball in play, and that's the thing that you have to do in a situation like that.
Dusty Baker is out talking to his pitcher, Shawn Estes, early in the season. Estes had some problems with his release point, and it's something for us to watch up here and for you folks at home. If he drops down and throws more 3/4 than pushes the ball rather than getting on top of the ball, he might have some problems.
Yeah, I think that, you know, in watching him pitch, it's like he's rushing through it a little bit, you know, trying to hurry up and get out of there. And sometimes that gets you into a bad groove.
Pagnozzi behind the plate today. He could use a few RBIs on his season total. He has driven in 1. He's up with the bases loaded. Off-speed pitch stays high. Always nice to get the lead. Always nice to do it in front of the home folks. And there's a bunch of them here today. 45,000 on Friday. High, deep, left field. And just foul. I bet Tom's heart was pumping a little bit as he watched that.
You see right here, got a fastball and just got out in front of it a little bit and pulled it foul.
1-1 count to Pagnozzi. 1-2. Good speed at second and first for the Cardinals. Any base hit, McGuire scores easily. $45,000 here Friday night, 39,000 and change here last night. Smith's pretty good Memorial Day weekend. Fans coming from all over to watch the Cardinals on this 3-day holiday weekend. I love to see that. I like to see people from Arkansas, from Tennessee, get them all up here to watch Cardinals baseball.
Well, we have fans all over the Midwest here, and they come from everywhere, and especially when teams winning. You know, it's a great baseball atmosphere.
They're watching in KPBI. Fort Smith, Arkansas today along the Cardinals network. Outfield plays Pagnozzi to hit the ball to right. The count is full. Pagnozzi doesn't like that. Strike 3, rung him up on a pitch low and in. Ed Montague behind the plate today, and Pags had words.
As you see that fastball there on the inside part of the plate, Eddie thought it got part of the plate.
Veteran crew, Ed Montague behind the plate, Dana DeMuth at first, Charlie Relaford at second today, Paul Schreiber at third. That one hurts. 2 gone here, bottom of the first. Cardinals lead 1-0, and John Mabry steps in. A .303 average for John. He has 3 home runs, 18 RBIs. RBI's a sore spot with him last year. And a big swing and a miss. So he's in the hole 0-2.
You know, Rich, in talking about Mabry, you know, which is one of the most likable guys in all of baseball. And he's one of the names that always come up when you talk about trades. And unfortunately, sometimes when you're in a situation where you're trying to get yourself some more pitching or something, it costs a lot. And his name comes up quite a bit when you talk about trades.
He grounds out here. The Cardinals scored a run. So they lead 1-0 here at Busch.
Did you pick 61 or 62? Was it his catch, his first game, or April 8th, 1974? What is the most memorable moment? Watch Game 4 of the World Series.
Ever wondered what it's really like to be a soldier?
What do you got?
I have a sit rep from Alpha Company.
BT, ready to be verified. Verified.
Slow start in 1998 with only 13 hits and 53 at-bats, no homers, and only 3 RBI in the Giants' first 12 games. It was the longest season opening stretch without a home run in his 13-year career, surpassing an 11-game drought in 1987 when he played with the Pirates. Bonds and Tony Gwynn spoke to Joe Morgan about breaking out of their batting slumps in his vintage SportsCenter report from 1998.
I'm not used to seeing you not in the top 5 in the hitting. I'm not used to seeing you on the hitting charts. I mean, you're not in the top 5 in home runs, RBIs. No, you're. Hey, I had to go all the way down to doubles to find you today. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But obviously last year you had one of your best years, and you had another great year. Just slow start.
I'm struggling mechanically myself. Having a lot of trouble hitting the ball the other way. I think my eyeballs are looking in. I'm looking for the ball in, and they just painting fastballs right on the outside corner.
What would be your scouting report on Barry Bonds?
Just don't get him upset. If I'm in a slump, just keep
Leave him
me
alone, huh?
alone. Yeah, leave me alone. If I ever get upset, I think the Dodgers woke me up that series when Osuna upset me, and I wasn't swinging the bat that good. And I wasn't having a good series coming into them, and they woke me up. Just don't ever wake up that tight.
And they might have cost them a division title, right? Because when they came here, you just made them pay for that.
Great baseball players study pitchers, Joe.
Right.
Great baseball players sit on the bench like this and they're monitoring the pitchers. They're picking up patterns. They're students of the game.
Right.
And you know, Willie always told me, you have to be a student of this game to become this game. You are never going to be larger than this game.
Right.
I don't care how much knowledge you think you have, it will always come to humble you.
Bonds busted loose with 7 homers over his next 19 games and batted close to 300. Coming up, we'll hear from Mark McGwire as Big Mac reflects upon his record-shattering 98 season. Right now, let's return to the Giants and Cardinals on ESPN Classic.
With St. Louis still leading 1-0, we move ahead to the top of the third inning where the Giants have 2 outs and third baseman Bill Miller on first after hitting a sharp single to left field. As we pick up the action, Barry Bonds has just stepped to the plate right here on ESPN Classic.
Barry Bonds takes a called strike. 2 gone here in the third inning. The Cardinals with that 1-0 lead. McGuire due to lead off for the Birds in the home half of the third. 10 home runs, 33 ribbies for Mr. Bonds. And I guess now that Mark McGuire is in the National League, certainly Barry one of the most feared hitters, but maybe not the most feared hitter.
Well, as a power hitter, and I think that Mark is in a class by himself as far as power is concerned. I think Barry is more of a he uses more of all of the ballpark. Mark just has raw power that speaks for itself.
Even Piazza came out and said, hey, wait a minute. This guy is far beyond what I can do.
Although I did see Mike Piazza hit one over Big Macland when he was here taking batting practice with the Marlins.
He didn't stay with him long, did he?
No, didn't take long.
Enough to say hello, how are you, goodbye. Piazza with the Mets.
Yeah, I think we're about to see the dismantling of the Baltimore Orioles here pretty soon if they don't get on track here. You can hear the rumors starting as far as Palmeiro and Robbie Alomar and Olerud.
Now, Rafael Palmeiro, there's some talk about maybe working a deal with the Mets, a pretty good-sized deal. I believe Palmeiro in his contract has a no trade to New York clause.
Was it to New York?
To New York, the city of.
I tell you what, you know, when you have situations like that, you give a guy an opportunity to win, and you forget about things like that.
Ball 1 to Jeff Kent. Kent his first time up singled. He was gunned down trying to score on a good throw from Clayton to Pagnozzi and an expertly blocked home plate. 2 away here in the third. Cardinals on top. And Petkovsek pulls a string way out in front. Kent whacks it into the Giants dugout and sends them scattering.
I think he got Mark Gardner there in the chest.
Look out, fellas. There's mesh netting around there to keep some of the balls out, but the ball bounces over it. What can you do except just dive out of the way? Good pitch from Petkovsek, 1-2.
You know, in talking about that New York Mets situation over there, what do they do when Todd Hundley comes back?
Yeah.
You know, it's going to present an interesting scenario. And I know that earlier this week, he talked about the fact that it would be a good deal as we watch him hit the ball down in the corner.
Rifled into the corner. Jeff Kent pulls in with a double. Run scores. Game's tied. Bonds at third. So Jeff Kent delivering with 2 outs.
An ex-Met. But I know that Todd Hundley said that with his injury and rehabbing and all of that, that this might be a good situation for the team for him to take the year off. As we watch Jeff Kent hit the ball down in the corner again. Starting to swing the bat very, very good now.
Well, this is a big hitter right now for Petkovsek. He is facing J.T. Snow. Got J.T. to hit a little weak grounder to Mabry. And he swings and misses. Petkovsek gets out of this without further damage. The Cardinals certainly don't want to go into their bullpen early in the game. Of course, you never do, but especially with the way the bullpen has been working lately. If they can get 6 strong out of Mark today and just keep everybody resting, there are some pitchers that won't be available in this game. Little bouncing ball goes foul, and Mabry touches it then. So Petkovsek is ahead 0-2 to J.T. Snow. Bottenfield worked a third of an inning last night. Lance Painter probably not available after throwing 2 innings last night. Same for Curtis King. So if and when the Cardinals get into the bullpen, you'll see Acevedo available and Frascatore, and even Jeff Brantley, who I'm sure is anxious to get back out there after the home run he allowed to Miller on Friday night. 0-2 pitch. Got him! And a way to go, Mark. Fastball inside. Called strike 3. And that man due to lead off for the Cardinals.
Battling the San Francisco Giants from May of 1998 on ESPN Classic.
Welcome back to the ESPN Classic showcase of Mark McGwire and Barry Bonds. We move ahead in the game now to the top of the 5th inning. Pitcher Shawn Estes helped his own cause and sparked the Giants' offense when he hit a bloop single to shallow left field and later advanced to second on a sacrifice bunt. A nice leaping catch by third baseman John Mabry robbed the Giants of a base hit and kept Estes at second base. But the next batter, Barry Bonds, lined one to right field, scoring Estes, giving San Fran a 2-1 lead. In the bottom half of the inning, leadoff batter Ron Gant drew a walk and reached second base after a wild pickoff throw ended up in right field. The next batter, Delino DeShields, doubled to the left center gap, scoring Gant. With the game now tied at 2, Mark McGwire was intentionally walked, and Estes just missed on a pitch to Ray Langford for ball 4 to load the bases. Veteran Willie McGee was able to knock in DeShields with a bouncer to second, putting the Cards on top 3-2. When we return, we'll move ahead in the action to the top of the 8th inning, right here on ESPN Classic.
The 70th anniversary with a week of Washington's greatest games. From Lombardi to Allen to Gibbs, Sonny to Billy to Joey to Dougie to Mark. Recapture the glory all week long. Hail to the Redskins 70th anniversary, all this week at 6 p.m. only on ESPN Classic.
You're watching Mark McGwire and the St. Louis Cardinals battling the San Francisco Giants from May of 1998 on ESPN Classic.
You got to tip your cap to what Mark Petkovsek did. Let's get Petkowsek's numbers out of the way after Juan Acevedo, who is 1-1, 5.06 ERA. And if you've watched Juan pitch this year, you know he has struggled at times with balls and strikes. He has walked too many hitters, but he has a good live arm.
90s with his fastball.
Petkovsek, 7 innings pitched, 2 runs, both earned. He allowed 10 hits, walked a couple, and had a strikeout. Excellent game from Mark Petkovsek. Wow.
Did a great job, as he's done most of the year. He's really helped Tony out in instances where he's needed him.
Marvin Bernard to lead it off for the Giants. He is in right field today. This guy is an excellent punter. Bat up the bat handle, and he just cuts the foul into the crowd. John Mabry is in so far at third. He looks like a fast pitch softball game.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss, strike 2. Yeah, I wondered what that movie was coming up on our flagship station, WB11. It is Stakeout. Richard Dreyfuss, Emilio Estevez. So stick around for the excitement of Stakeout. Ozzie Acevedo's in there throwing strikes, and he's throwing hard.
Just remember that his fastball is the key for him. Spot that fastball.
And with 2 strikes, threat of a bunt no longer there. Mabry dropped back to even with the bag as Bernard bounces one into the seats in right. Pitch to Bernard, back up the middle to Shields to his right. Little lazy line drive that Delino tracks down for the first out. Delino was on the move to his right. Nice little running catch. One out here in the 8th inning. Lazy pop up. Juan, let somebody else get it, pal. Get out of there. There's Acevedo saying, no, mine. Well, let me cruise through there and make the catch. We don't want Acevedo stumbling on the rubber and breaking a leg or some such thing. Communication, Ozzie, so important in this little game of ours.
John Mabry's done a good job of taking control out there at third base.
Yeah, you know, he's really having a nice game defensively. Our play of the game on the ground ball to his left. He went up and made a nice stab on a line drive.
And as I would say to him, yeah, that wasn't a tough play. He's so tall, he's right there anyway.
I see you can get away with that. I walk up to him and say, hey, that wasn't a tough play, and he'd punch me.
No, he wouldn't. He's too nice a guy.
1-1 count. Brian Johnson pops it up. In comes Ron Gant. Way in, makes the catch. Tough play with the sun so high today. Acevedo mows the Giants down. Cardinals hitting it in the 8th.
97, Mark McGwire picked up where he left off in 98 with 37 homers by the end of June. He broke Hack Wilson's National League record when he smashed his 57th on September 1st. What had seemed impossible for more than a generation came to pass 7 days later as McGwire tied Roger Maris's all-time record with his 61st homer in the 144th game of the season. The next night, off of Steve Traxel, he broke the record with a liner over the left field wall. McGwire sat down with Dan Patrick and discussed his achievement in this vintage conversation from 1998.
Are people now telling you don't give away your shoes and don't give away your bats and don't give away gloves or balls?
No, I do it all the time. I gave Jim Leland my batting gloves after the last game down in Florida. I gave Bobby Knight, who was here a few weeks ago, I gave him my shoes I hit 50 through 55 in. I gave, like my second father, Jim, gave him my bat that hit 50 through 55. But, you know, it's, you know, those things mean a lot to me, but it means even more than I can give them to them.
So you don't feel like, I mean, what are you holding on to? The bat and the ball goes to Cooperstown.
Well, the bat, the ball, my batting gloves, my hat, my helmet, my jersey, my pants I wore that night with my belt in it, my Nike cleats with my orthotics in it, so if people look in there, they go, he really did have bad feet. That's why I gave him everything except for my undershirt and my tights and my jock.
I'm surprised they didn't ask for that.
Although my jock did get, not my jock, my cup did get stolen this year. That's the only thing I've ever had stolen.
Somebody took your protective cup?
From Houston to St. Louis, last time we were in Houston, my cup decided to jump out. And so if ever somebody comes up and walks and says, hey, can you sign this cup? I'm going to take it back.
Do you worry, though, that you can't be the public Mark McGwire anymore? You can't walk on a golf course and just play. You can't be out in the front yard with your son. That you've sacrificed or you've lost a little bit of that?
I'm going to be the same person I'm going to be. I just, you know, people say, well, here he's thrown in all the success, you know. Oh, he's going to change. Well, you know what? No, I'm not going to change. You know what happens is the people around you change because they look at you differently. They think, well, here's this guy. Oh, my God, he hit 62 or how many until the end of the season, home runs. Oh, he's a different person. No, I'm not a different person. I'm the same person. I'm going to be the same dad. I just hope people around me, people in the city that I live in, don't change.
McGwire hit 23 homers in his final 40 games and 5 of the last weekend of the season to finish 1998 with 70. 3 years later, Barry Bonds broke Mac's mark with 73. Later, we'll hear from Bonds as he discusses his image. But now let's return to the Giants and Cardinals on ESPN Classic.
Into the 8th inning, nice game for Delino DeShields, Oz.
He's 2 for 4 with a double, a run scored, and an RBI. Mark Petkovsek had 108 pitches, 40 balls, and 68 strikes. And the Cardinal home run streak is on the line here, so we've got to crank it up.
With maybe just 3 outs to go, the fans, as they wave to us here all along the Cardinals network, are anxious to see either Willie or Pagnozzi or Mabry hit one out and keep this streak alive. Home runs 15 games in a row. Julian Taveras is the new Giants pitcher. If you watched Friday night's game here along the Cardinals network, you know that this young man has a live arm. He is a very talented pitcher.
Came over from Cleveland, and I think he's been in a large amount of games for the Giants too. I checked the numbers here.
While you do that, we'll tell you a little bit about his fastball. Hi, folks. How are you? That fastball that he has really will ride in on a right-handed hitter. And again, late in the ball game, Tony's hand somewhat tied in terms of moves. So a well-pitched game is exactly what the Cardinals needed today. David Howard is out with an injury. So's Gaetti. So's Brian Jordan. So realistically, only Lampkin and Hunter are available to pinch hit, unless you do what Tony told me he might before the game, use a Busby or a Stottlemyre or a Merker. Dusty Baker and the Giants had been playing great baseball, and then they come to St. Louis. They lose an extra inning game on Friday night and a wild 11-10 affair here last night. I don't think I've seen that color on a Cardinal shirt ever. Taveras facing Willie McGee, who bats left-handed for the first time in this game and takes a ball.
Birds have a tough task here, Rich. This guy's only been scored on 3 times in his last 16 outings.
All right. He's been good, and there's that fastball outside and tailing away, moving away from McGee. One pitch took something off, and Willie's out in front. Julian Taveras, 24-year-old right-hander from Santiago in the Dominican Republic. Breaking ball missed. He won 6 games for the Giants last year. Taveras 6-4, good ERA. And as Ozzie told you, his numbers this year very impressive. In fact, this entire Giants bullpen, Ozzie, has been.
It's 22 appearances this year.
22 appearances. Dusty Baker told me when we were out in San Francisco, the bullpen he thinks is one of the strengths of his team. He doesn't mind getting into them early. McGee bouncing ball wide of the bag, foul ball. Now that's a cool kid. That's a cool customer here with a big swig of water on a hot, sunny Memorial Day Sunday. Ground ball. Through and into right field. Base hit for Willie. Kent not overly mobile to his left on that particular ground ball, and so Willie McGee is on.
As we watch the ball just slide right underneath him. Willie just being Willie.
That's just Willie, isn't it?
Just threw 2 more out there.
Base hit in the first for Willie McGee. Base hit here in the 8th for Willie.
Do you feel like you've seen Willie get 3,000 hits?
Actually, yes. Yes, I do. Up the middle, off the glove of Taveras. Sanchez throws out Pagnozzi.
He does a super job right here of composing himself and taking his time. Now here's a guy that knew who was running. Actually, it's Aurelia. He knew who was running. He took his time and made a good throw over to first base.
So Rich Aurelia into the game on a double switch for Dusty Baker's Giants. And yeah, that's a tough play for a guy who's just coming off the bench, who hasn't, Ozzie, been involved in the game situation. And as you said, knowing who's running. Crowd doesn't like this. John Mabry hitting. They'd like to see him get his hacks. They'll walk John intentionally with Royce Clayton hitting behind him. (3-2) Cardinals lead here in the 8th inning. They are trying for a Memorial Day weekend sweep of the San Francisco Giants. Colorado will be here tomorrow. It's an afternoon game, a 1:10 start, and then a rare Tuesday off for the Cardinals. The Rockies here again on Wednesday and Thursday before the Birds head west for 4 games in San Diego and 3 in Los Angeles. I should let you know too, folks, for all of you on our Cardinals flagship WB11, we're very happy next week to have the Children's Miracle Network Champions Telethon on Saturday night preceding Cardinals baseball, and then all day Sunday. We raise money for St. Louis Children's Hospital and Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital, and it's always a great source of pride and enjoyment for us at WB11 to have the telethon from Six Flags. Foul ball. Cree Craig, Sandy Miller, Mark Ferree, Christine Buck. They will be hosting this year's telethon from Six Flags. Bob and I will be in San Diego. I'm sure we'll have some things to do too. That's a lot of fun, Oz.
Yes,
you were there last year for a good long while.
Be there again this year.
Cool.
You guys will be in San Diego.
Miller, second for 1. On to first, safe, and now McGee trying to score as the ball bounces away. Heads up base running. That's the veteran Willie McGee.
Really does a good job here of anticipating this ball being in the dirt right here, and the ball get away. Good job by Mabry getting down there on the second baseman. Gets a good lead off. He's running hard all the way. It's anticipating. Ball gets away. Scores easily.
And what a large run that is as Juan Acevedo hits for himself. That little 1-run cushion to make it a 4-2 game can be huge here on a Sunday afternoon against a Giants team that will lead off with Rich Aurelia after the double switch. Then the top of their order, Hamilton, Miller, and if anyone gets on, Barry Bonds. Guest of Cardinals baseball receive a gift certificate from Famous Bar, a tradition of fashion leadership. No balls, 2 strikes to Acevedo, who corks one into right field. Bernard a running catch, and the Cardinals through here in the 8th inning, but that run on a heads-up base running play by that man is a big one.
Plastic holds the promise of a better world, taking medicine to new heights and giving our lives greater comfort. It's in the packaging that protects us and a pacemaker to empower us. Every day touching every generation. From the ambulance to the emergency room, it puts the answers in our hands and hope in our hearts. For a safer, more brilliant tomorrow. Plastics make it possible.
A day of Puerto Rico's biggest sports legends and some of their greatest games. Only on ESPN Classic. Follow Puerto Rico's own Roberto Clemente as he leads the Pirates to victory in the '71 World Series. Catch the Blue Jays and the Rangers Classic season opener from San Juan's Hiram Bithorn Stadium in 2001. Plus, a special profile of legendary Latin baseball player Orlando Cepeda and much more. Classic Puerto Rico starts at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, Sunday, November 3rd, only on ESPN Classic.
You're watching Mark McGwire and the St. Louis Cardinals battling the San Francisco Giants from May of 1998 on ESPN Classic.
Up the runway. Those are the lovely seats here in Busch Stadium. As you can see, that's a nice play. Here's the play, Ozzie. As we take a look, Giants trying to turn 2, and Willie scored on a bad throw.
We have a situation where maybe goes down hard on him here and makes him shorten his throw a little bit there. And the ball kind of kicks away there. And Willie, being the heads-up base runner that he is, scored easily.
Yeah, Clayton had the throw beat. It was probably an ill-advised throw by Jeff Kent. The ball hit slowly, and then you gun one into the dirt, and I don't care how good you are, and JT's one of the best. That was a tough pick.
That was a very tough play, and the only thing that you can hope for there is you keep the ball in front of you, which would keep the runner at third base. But as you saw, the ball kicked away far enough for Willie to score.
T-shirt day at the ballpark, and they're using them as bonnets. I thought that was an Easter thing. This is Memorial Day, kids. They're keeping the sun off the old noggin here as Juan Acevedo tries to do the Giants in. In the 9th inning, the Cardinals trying to sweep and send San Francisco packing with their daubers down. 1-1. Rich Aurelia, the hitter. He came into the ball game in the 8th inning on a double switch. Acevedo buzzed him and sends him back, and Aurelia looks menacingly at him.
That's an ouch. That's an ouch look.
How did Pagnazzi catch that ball? Did you see that? Pagnazzi, I think, had his eyes closed and turned his head. He thought the ball was going to hit him. Aurelia hitting .319. Acevedo being somewhat careful to him. Oh, there he got the high strike in there. And now the bases are, or pardon me, the count is full. Throw a strike here. He did, fouled away. Juan Acevedo. Sunday afternoon might be his finest hour. We remember Acevedo coming in a situation that was dicey at best a few Sundays ago here at Busch Stadium. And getting the job done. He'll try to do that again today. That pitch is close. Aurelia knew he had ball 4 all the way. He slings his bat and hustles down to first. So Acevedo walks the leadoff guy. Tying run now to the plate. And barring a double play, that means Barry Bonds will hit in this inning. A similar situation to what we had here on Friday night. An insurance run late, but the possibility of a 2-run homer tying the game.
Get a chance to see the fastball from the camera behind home plate there.
It's to Darrell Hamilton. Get it out, gang. DeShields missed the tag. Throws. Got his man. That was a good play by Delino DeShields. I saw a lot of white, Ozzie, in that glove as he tried to swipe the runner going by.
It's a good chance that on a play like this, you could sling that ball out because there was a lot of white there. But he does a good job of gathering himself and getting that out there at first base.
Hey, the runner at second is meaningless. It's nice to get 2 if you can get it. But Delino took care of business, and he got Darrell Hamilton.
And guess who?
Yeah, Friday night he went up there against Brantley looking fastball, and Bill Miller pounded one out in right field to tie the game. This one hacked into left, slicing away. Trouble for Gant, who slides and made the catch.
No, he flipped it to
Did Clayton catch that off the hand of Ron Gant?
He flipped it in the air. So trick play. Assist, Gant.
And still doesn't know what happened.
Know what happened.
The guy with the chair getting out of the way. Off his wrist.
Oh, it bounced. It hit the ground. It hit the ground.
Well, Clayton sold it. And now the Giants dugout, perhaps watching on a video monitor, they're hollering out there, hey, wait a minute, that ball hit the ground. It did hit the ground. If the Cardinals get this one, they're getting a gift. Nice selling job by Royce Clayton.
Yeah, they sold that. They sold it and they stole it.
Well, I'm not writing it in the book just yet. There's no question this ball was missed by Ron Gant. It's a tough play, a long run, Ozzie, from left field, hit him up the wrist.
Right.
But that's what you do as a shortstop, right?
Yeah,
if it bounces in that area.
That's right. And show it.
Well, the dangerous Barry Bonds takes a strike from Acevedo. Bill Miller's going to see the video replay of that later on and throw up. One out away from a sweep, 0-2 to Bonds. That'll get the Cardinals fans on their feet. Just enough. Oh, he's a talented hitter. That was a mean pitch from Acevedo just to stay alive.
Stay alive, yes.
Back with the cheers. Acevedo 0-2 to Barry Bonds in the 9th inning. He continues to throw that gas, Ozzie. This is one man that you don't want to make a mistake to with heat over the middle of the plate.
You better be able to spot that fastball, because when guys like this, when they know that all you're going to throw them is a fastball, it's just a matter of time.
Just missed, and Acevedo with a little dance out on the mound, wanted that one badly. So did his skipper. Straight back.
That's what you worry about, is hitters like this here when they foul a fastball straight back. If he fouls it off to the left like Barry did before, then he get the ball away from him. But when they start fouling it directly back behind the screen is when I get worried.
They're right on it, though.
They're right on it.
Aurelia at second and meaningless unless Bonds can jack one out of here. Now it's 2-2 as Acevedo missed inside. Well, you don't want to walk Bonds and put the winning run on. You also don't want to give in to him because he can smoke you. Fly ball, right field, well hit, drifting back. Willie, gone! Home run, Barry Bonds. And we're tied for the second time in 3 games. A 2-run homer in the 9th ties this game. Wow. He gave in and Bonds made him pay, Ozzie.
Well, you know, we talked about it, and The first foul ball that he hit off the other side was spotted very well, and the fastball that he missed on was spotted very well. But with guys like this here, you can't miss out over the plate, because what happens is what we just saw happen. And the fastball that he fouled straight back told me that he was right on it. And if you, with hitters like that, if they know a fastball is coming, you can shoot it out of a cannon. You can't get it by them.
Two-run homer by Barry Bonds here in the 9th inning, and the Giants back in business in a 4-4 game. I was watching Willie. The way he was drifting, I thought for a moment he was going to have a play with his back against the wall. But it carried and carried.
And you have guys like Barry, for instance, and a pitcher that throws this hard. That guy is the one that's supplying the power. Now, from a mechanic stand, if he executes the way that he's capable of staying in the strike zone and just getting the good part of the bat on the ball, half of it's licked.
Lazy fly ball. Ray Lankford in center field to end the inning, but Barry Bonds does it again for the Giants. His 11th home run ties this one. Bottom of the 9th we go.
Gotta tell you, I've had some great deals come my way, but a big and tasty for just $1, you did your thing, dog. Not that I'm calling you a dog. I mean, you're more like a big purple, I don't know what you are. What you say about my mama?
Huh? Get a delicious Big and Tasty or a McChicken sandwich for just $1 every day at McDonald's.
You got a buck, you're in luck. Grimace, bump with me. What?
What's SportsCenter's best spot ever? You decide. Vote at ESPN.com now and choose your favorite. You might even land a walk-on role in an upcoming SportsCenter promo. And you could win a T-Mobile Sidekick just for voting. SportsCenter, only on ESPN.
When a washed-up drunk and a bunch of delinquents hit the field, it's bad news. Real classics, movies and real stories from the actors who made them classics. The Bad News Bears, 9 Eastern Sunday on ESPN Classic.
Was it July 4th, 1939, or September 6th, 1995? Was it this defining blast, or his dance of joy? Did you decide on perfection? Did you pick 61 or 62? Was it his catch, his first game, or April 8th, 1974? What is the most memorable moment? Watch Game 4 of the World Series.
I've always loved working on computers, and in the Army, that's what I do.
If you never thought about the U.S. Army or Army Reserve, think about this. There are 212 ways for you to become a soldier and work at a job you'll love. Call for this free video to find out which job is right for you. And if you call 1-800-645-ARMY right now, you'll also receive a free Army t-shirt with your video. Discover the 212 ways you can be an Army of One.
Attention inventors, call for your free Inventors Kit, 877-800-0843, or visit us on the web at inventorshelpline.com.
You'll receive free confidential forms and useful information describing the invention process. And when you call right now, you'll also receive a free brochure which tells you how to begin to develop your new idea. So get the ball rolling. Pick up your phone right now and call for your free Inventor's Kit.
Call today toll-free for your free Inventor's Kit, 877-800-0843, or visit our website at inventorshelpline.com.
You're watching Mark McGwire and the St. Louis Cardinals battling the San Francisco Giants from May of 1998 on ESPN Classic.
Welcome back to Busch Stadium for the top of the 12th inning with the score still tied at 4. The Giants will lead things off with Bill Miller at the plate with no balls and 1 strike right here on ESPN Classic.
A home run off Jeff Brantley here on Friday night turned a 2-hour and 15-minute game into a 3-hour and 30-minute game. So family and friends here from St. Louis and DeSmet happy to see that, but I know a lot of Cardinals fans at the time wanted that victory. They got it eventually. The Cardinals also winning last night. 2-1. to Bill Miller. I know, Ozzie, you love to have those power guys at the corner, and really it doesn't fit Bill Miller's stroke, but he is a nice gap hitter, and what I like most about him is his ability to hit the ball to all field.
He sprays the ball all around the ballpark and plays a good third base down there. He's not a prototypical third baseman, but oh, as he doubles down in the corner here.
Ball's fair into the corner, so Miller just cuts one into left field. And the Giants with something going here in the 12th inning. A leadoff double by Miller. Barry Bonds to hit next. Here's the example of hitting to all fields, Ozzie.
See, inside outs the ball right here, just inside the line there.
In the 9th inning, and the reason we're still around, Juan Acevedo went one too many fastballs to Mr. Bonds. He got that ball up, and it carried, and I thought Willie might get it. He backed to the track, over the boards, home run. Bonds with 11 home runs now on the season. Wow. Visit with Judy Bauer earlier in the game. As that ball rides up and in on Barry, and he just gets the bat around and fouls it left. Judy Bauer of Christian Family Day, which is coming up at Busch Stadium on July 11th. The Cardinals against Houston. Darrell Porter will be here. There's that shadow, Ozzie.
Oh, yeah. Actually, you have the flags waving out there in front of the home plate there now. So
yeah, how distracting is that for a hitter?
It really tests your concentration, that's for sure.
I don't know that Frascatore wants to make this guy angry. And pitch inside, diving out of the way.
Well, that's actually a pretty good pitch right there to try and set up this next pitch.
They'll go away from Bonds. Got him swinging. Bonds whacks himself in the helmet in frustration.
And the pitch before is the one that set it up.
Backed him off the plate. Went hard with a tailing fastball away. Frascatore with a nice job of pitching.
In a situation like that, a guy doesn't mind being brushed back there. The ball's down in the strike zone. It didn't hit him. Wasn't near his head or anything. And that's just good pitching right there.
And we had a situation earlier in the week with Armando Benitez of the Yankees in that hotly contested series with Baltimore, where he hit Tino Martinez square in the back after a home run, and that was one of the ugliest fights in baseball I've ever seen.
Well, you know, that goes way back. I think that a similar situation like that happened when Tino was with Seattle. As we watched Jeff Kent.
Jeff Kent line drive home run. Man, oh man, he belted it off John Frascatore, and now the Giants lead this game 6-4.
We've watched this guy all day. He's been swinging the bat. He's really starting to come on now. He got off to a slow start this year, but he's swinging the bat extremely well today. And he connects right there. He hits that ball off of his backside, and I think he knows when he hit it that that ball, if it stays fair, has a chance of getting out of here, which it does.
5th home run of the year for Jeff Kent. That is his 3rd RBI in this game. He has 35, and the Giants lead 6-4. Ground ball, Snow right at Royce. For the 2nd out. Home runs killing the Cardinals. Bonds in the 9th inning. Kent here in the 12th.
As Rob Nin will bat for himself.
How often does this happen?
Not very often. I think he's having to stretch him a little bit today because of his bullpen problems. And normally you don't want your closer in there for 3 innings, but he's forced to do it today with Rob Nin.
Rob Nin has hit twice this year. He is 0 for 2, just 2 at-bats on the season on May 24th for the Giants closer, who today stands to be the winner if he can get past the Cardinals in the bottom half of the 12th. 2 outs, but serious damage done by Jeff Kent. Dusty Baker might crawl out of here with a win yet. Ground ball. Delano to his right, stayed down on him. He made a good play. And he gets the pitcher. But Jeff Kent is poised to be the Giants' hero today. Dusty Baker watching as Kent crosses on a 2-run homer.
Games, trivia, upcoming specials, and the ESPN Classic program schedule, go to ESPN.com. Keyword, classic. The staff at the site's page 2 pondered who are the most beloved Major League players of all time. They came up with 2 Cubs, 2 Cards, a bird of a different feather, and the Babe. No list of beloved ball players would be complete without Babe Ruth. He tops the list. Ironman Cal Ripken takes the 2nd spot, while Big Mac was 4th, trailed by the man that chased him in 1998, Sammy Sosa. Here are the results of the poll that determined the least likable players, and the list is topped by the man who despised the Babe, Ty Cobb. The Georgia Peach was followed by Rocker and the Rocket. Barry Bonds rounds out our list at number 6. When Bonds broke Mark McGwire's record in 2001, he was named National League MVP for the 4th time. Bonds had more home runs and runs batted in than any player in the 1990s and won 8 Gold Gloves during the decade, but still remained an unpopular figure with fans and media. Bonds talked to Carl Ravitch about his image in his vintage conversation in 1998.
Do you really care about what people think of you?
Everybody cares what people think about them. Do I have control over what the people think about me? No, because I don't write the newspapers. I don't sit on ESPN and conversate. I don't make my own evaluation of another human being that I spend absolutely 0 time with. But I've never done anything. I've done nothing but played the game of baseball and played my own style. I've said some bad things toward people that have said some bad things toward me, but so have you, so has the next person. But I don't have any love lost for that person. It's not something to keep continually persecuting me for.
During McGwire's record-breaking season of 1998, Bonds batted .303 with 37 homers, 122 runs batted in, and 28 stolen bases. Now let's return to the Cardinals and Giants from 1998 here on ESPN Classic.
Jeff Kent, power-hitting second baseman, and he touched them all against John Frascatore to give the Giants the lead, Ozzie.
He's got a fastball on the inner half of the plate right there, and boy, he was all over that fastball. Just backsided it out over the wall there in left field.
Kent's 5th home run. And now Rob Nin, who really doesn't need any help. When you throw 97 miles an hour, that's intimidating enough. Has the advantage of the shadows crawling past home plate. Dusty Baker, Ron Peronowski for the Giants. Counting on their closer. There you see the awkward hitting situation for these Cardinals hitters. And the first to try it out, Tom Lampkin. You're in a situation now, really, only a couple of reserves. He's used 1, Brian Hunter. And down 2 runs in the 12th inning. You might as well use Lampkin and try to get him on.
That's all you can do here now, and hopefully you get somebody on here and give your power-hitting leadoff man a chance to try and tie this ball game up.
We've seen pitchers hit today, guys that ordinarily would not swing. Juan Acevedo, Danny Darwin, and Rob Nin all getting hacks in this game as Nin throws a ball. Look at the rosin come off that baseball. That's called throwing smoke. JT, foul ground. foul away. It'll be Ron Gant, then Delino DeShields. If anybody gets aboard, remember the possibility of a 2-run home run tying this game would then fall into the lap of the Major League leading home run hitter. First, you got to get a guy on. So that's Ron Gant's job here in the 12th inning with the Cardinals trailing by 2. Outfield is deep straight away. Middle infielders pretty deep.
This guy's still throwing hard, too.
Yeah.
This is 3rd inning of work, and boy, he rushed that one up there at about 95. 95 with shadows.
95 with shadows. Gant weakly to right field. Second out. Javier makes the catch. And the Cardinals are down to their final out. The Giants were down to their final out in the 9th inning. Barry Bonds made Dusty Baker a happy manager by hitting a 2-run home run. We played on to 12. And now the Cardinals have Delino DeShields in there with you-know-who on deck. Ball 1 pitch to Delino DeShields. Blew it by him, 97 miles an hour. That's strong, Ozzie.
Oh, boy.
That's strong, man. This crowd got one of the bigger cheers of the day in the 10th inning when Delino DeShields walked to load the bases. Mark McGwire, who has delivered so often for the Birds this year, couldn't get it done in the 10th. He struck out against Rob Nett. Would he like another crack at this flamethrower? And he'll get it. Base hit to Shields. Up comes McGwire. Those who have stayed, and there are a good many of them, we started the day with 45,854, are getting what I said in the 10th was exactly what they wanted to see. McGwire in a game situation where a home run in this case ties it for you. Talk it over. Talk it over out there.
In a situation here, you don't want to hold a runner on because that run means nothing. If he wants to take second base right now, then you allow him to do it, and that way you can definitely walk Mark McGwire. You got your hands full with Ray Langford, but they've been able to handle Ray pretty much today. So if he wants to steal second base right here, you allow him to do it.
But an interesting situation. If Mark McGwire doesn't get a pitch to hit, as he checks his swing for a called strike 1. If DeShields wanted to just run to second base, leave first base open, that would bring the winning run to the plate. Pitch outside to McGwire. DeShields will stay put 1-1 men against McGwire in a great power matchup. Off to the right side. And the Cardinals now are down to their final strike. In this situation against Nen last time up in the 10th inning, Rob threw McGwire a nasty slider on the outside part and got it.
What do you think he's going to throw him here?
I think he's going to throw him a nasty slider on the outside part. Whether he gets him or not remains to be seen. missed. About a foot outside. Wanted to see if McGuire would chase a bad ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The Giants have a 2-run lead. And the Cardinals down to their final strike. Great googly moogly, he did it! Mark McGuire, a towering home run. We're tied in the 12th. Can you believe this?
Wow.
Big Mac getting used to curtain calls. How about that swing? Number 24 for McGuire. And look at Men's reaction on it.
Well, you know what was even better than that is watch Barry Bonds' reaction.
He never moved.
Unbelievable. He hung a slider that didn't slide.
The Cardinals' home run streak is alive. They have hit a home run in their last 16 games. Took extra innings to do it. We might play beyond the 12th. Down to their final strike. Tit for tat on a home run by Mark McGuire. Bonds and McGuire, 2 of the greatest stars in the game. Oops. Well, Rob, it happens to a lot of you.
Well, you know, in situations like this here, you know, you often hear guys talk about not losing on your second or third best pitch. His pitch is a fastball, and he ends up tying the ball game on a slider that hung.
To the 13th we go.
Well, that would explain the stomach pains.
How long have I got, Doc?
Not long.
Long enough to go get a delicious Mike's Hard Cranberry Lemonade?
Mike's makes a hard cranberry lemonade?
You bet.
That does sound tasty.
A hard day calls for a hard cranberry lemonade. Make it Mike's.
I think do-it-yourself is very much an attitude. It's just such an American tradition. If you want to figure out if you can do something with your own 2 hands, whether it's a repair or a rebuild, there's a lot of folks that will do this because they get enjoyment out of it. The sense of satisfaction at the end of having done it at home, done it ourselves, that's something that's wonderful and it's very American. The biggest challenge for any do-it-yourselfer is having the right tools. The Craftsman Tool Department is really the place to go for the value and warranty.
1,800 Craftsman hand tools, all made in America, guaranteed forever. Find what you need in this free catalog.
I always think that good tools are the key to a job well done.
Remember,
Ted Williams is the John Wayne of sports.
How perfect we can be.
Nicholas hit a tee shot that only gravity kept on this planet.
Discover.
It wasn't that Cal Ripken didn't get hurt. He was hurt all the time.
How human we really are.
There were times where I didn't think I was going to be able to walk again.
These are their stories.
I'm here to win.
I believe I'm the best ambassador baseball has.
This is my house.
This is the award-winning Sports Century, 8 p.m. weeknights on ESPN Classic.
These MLB Authentic Collection team jackets will head to the playoffs to grace the shoulders of their favorite players and share in the glory that is October. The others will grace the shoulders of Roy's and Bob's and Steve's and share in the glory that is a hot dog and a cold one. Get your MLB Authentic Collection team jacket from the Major League Baseball Clubhouse store for just $119. Call 1-866-MLB-GAME. Call now, 1-866-MLB-GAME.
Today we're learning how Dell helps people order America's favorite PC.
We're supposed to write a report on what we learned.
So you're a big video game player.
It sounds like you're really into music. That's cool. Oh, so you're on the road a lot.
You have 2 kids in college.
I was hoping that we could get her. Hey, how's it going, guys?
Mr. Richards, we don't want to get anyone in trouble, but everyone just seems to be chit-chatting.
Right, but they're not just talking, they're listening. You can't make someone's perfect PC if you don't find out how they're going to use it first.
That's exactly what I told her, sir.
Call or go online now and get a Dimension desktop for just $5.99 after a $50 instant savings. Featuring an Intel Pentium 4 processor for awesome performance for today's digital entertainment. Recording music, sharing photos, gaming, and beyond. Right now, you'll get a free CD burner or DVD upgrade. Get great deals on notebooks, too. Dude, you're getting a Dell.
Hey, Mr. Richards, I don't want to get in any trouble, but...
Your perfect PC? It's easy as Dell. Dell PCs use Intel Pentium 4 processors.
You're watching Mark McGuire and the St. Louis Cardinals battling the San Francisco Giants from May of 1998 on ESPN Classic.
As Kent Merker takes over here in the 17th.
All right, Merck, what you got for us? He'll start on Thursday, and he starts the hitter off with a strike. 0-1, 17th inning. San Francisco 6, the Cardinals 6. This is the longest game that we've had at Busch Stadium since April of 1992. Game against the Montreal. You remember that one?
I remember that.
That game against the Expos? Another extra inning. Find the energy.
Yeah,
Feel your Ginsana, the original natural energizer. That might be what wins the game for the Cardinals.
Ginsana.
Load them up.
If anybody has any Ginsana, send it my way.
On my 17th anniversary, Ozzy, I've gone past
Here it
the
is.
divorce court and into forgiveness now with this game.
17 years, 17th inning.
Oh, that's a
something
hunch.
has to happen here.
And will. Like he took something off and missed high and wide. So Merker runs the count to 3-2. Kent Merker never thought he'd be in the game today, but we're in the 17th inning. Walked him. He had JT turned around right-handed, the first time we've seen Snow hit right-handed today. And so he is aboard. Charlie Hayes is the Giants hitter.
How's your scorecard coming there, Rich?
It's a mess. It's an absolute mess. And if those of you are scoring at home with us, my guess is you've given up. Unless you've got a lot of white on. Now here's where Carpenter excels. You're talking about the most professional scorer in Major League Baseball, Bob Carpenter. He has whiteout, he has two-sided tape, he has it all. His scorecard is a thing of beauty. To the point, get this, to the point where Al Broughton wants to do an actual story on Bob Carpenter. One of these days we're going to do a feature on the Carpenter scorebook. This is his scorebook that we use here.
Oh boy, a story. Wow. Is that his scorebook?
Yeah, it's the Carpenter scorebook. I mean, it's mine. I think Carpenter only charged me about $75 for it. No, he gave it to me.
Oh, okay. I was getting ready to say he's a cheapskate.
He's not with us tonight, folks, as you've
That's
surmised
why we can
over.
talk. That's why we can talk about
talk behind his back. As you've surmised over these many hours, Bob is with family and friends. They're celebrating an important graduation in the Carpenter household. We wish him well, and we can't wait to see him next week in San Diego. He'll be here at the affiliates breakfast on Thursday. Merker 3-0 on Charlie Hayes. So Kent Merker has come in and thrown a lot of balls. He walked the leadoff hitter. Now Hayes goes to 3-0. J.T. Snow is on for the Giants, and Merker struggling out there. Strike. Hayes jumped back as if it was too far inside and now laughs it off. You're probably saying, Ed Montague, come on, man. We get the runner in scoring position. Our chances of going home are a little earlier. Don't you guys have a plane to catch?
I bet if it's close again, he'll get rung up again.
I bet he will. Center field, line drive in front of Langford, base hit. Giants with something going here in the 17th inning. They have the first two men on. Charlie Hayes delivers for San Francisco. Good veteran hitter, as we told you his last time up. He has been around a while and getting hits a good long while. Take us through this swing of his, Ozzie.
Well, actually, he took a little off of it and got him out front just a little bit, but he got enough on it to get it over the infielder.
We hope Merker will bear down and give us a happy scenario as we leave you on this Sunday. When we leave you on this Sunday, he's throwing to Stan Javier, who squared around to bunt. The Cardinals were one strike away from winning this game in the 9th inning when Barry Bonds hit a 2-run home run. They got a home run in the 12th from Jeff Kent. The Giants were a strike away from winning. That's a beauty.
That's a good bunt right there.
Merker
Everybody's saying,
oh, and then throws it away. An ill-advised throw by Merker. Into right field it goes. 2 runs will score, maybe. Willie McGee throws through. Pagnazzi can't hold on to it. And the Giants now lead 8-6. 2 mistakes by the pitcher on that one. A, not fielding it cleanly. B, a mental error to throw that ball in the first place. All Javier wanted to do was make out here and advance the runners. Instead, he's at second base with nobody out.
Tried to rush his throw right there. And
once you drop the ball, then he throws that low sinker to Delino DeShields, who has to go ahead and get over from second base to cover it. So kind of a bad play there. And now Brian Johnson, the bunt, Mabry, fields, throws, got him. But the runner advances. Dusty Baker taking nothing for granted. If they can take another run in this 17-inning game, they will. The Giants now lead 8-6. We were going through the home runs in this one. There's Dusty. Jeff Kent homered in the 12th inning to put the Giants up by 2. And then Mark McGwire with his 24th home run, his 3rd in 2 days, his 4th in 3 days. Hit one out in the 12th inning with Delino DeShields, and as Ozzie mentioned, that's a key at bat by Delino in the 12th to get on base in front of Mac. Crowd a little quieter now. Rich Aurelia steps in to hit, and it's 1-0 to him. Base hit. Another run in. The Giants lead 9-6. And the folks booing the Cardinals a little bit, although they were cheering the first 2 games of this series when the Cardinals won on Friday night in dramatic fashion. Ron Gant's base hit. last night in wild fashion, including 2 home runs by Mark McGwire. Hamilton singled to lead off the 16th inning, and he was erased on a great play at second by Royce Clayton. Bottenfield threw behind Clayton and low. He had to dig it out. Kent Merker now on in the 17th inning, and he stands to be the loser in this one. The Giants leading 9-6. Detroit beat Chicago. Afternoon baseball in the American League 8-4. The Yankees winning again. That series with Boston was supposed to be stellar, but the Yankees just overpowered them 14-4 today in Beantown. Kansas City 8-3 winner over Texas. Minnesota beat Anaheim. Toronto beat Cleveland today. Bouncing ball, Delano to second for one, over to first, double play. So Merker throws the ground ball double play, but the damage done here in the 17th.
This ESPN Classic program is presented by the American Plastics Council. Professional baseball players rely on cushioned, shock-absorbing plastic used in batter's helmets to help protect them from injury. So play like the professionals and always wear your batting helmet when you step up to the plate.
Plastic holds the promise of a better world, taking medicine to new heights and giving our lives greater comfort. It's in the packaging that protects us and a pacemaker to empower us, every day touching every generation. From the ambulance to the emergency room, it puts the answers in our hands and hope in our hearts. For a safer, more brilliant tomorrow, plastics make it possible.
I've been driving all night, my hands wet on the wheel. There's a voice in my head. Here comes my favorite part! What? My favorite part!
What's more fun than a turbo? A turbo with all-wheel drive. When you get it, you get it. The rally-inspired 227-horsepower Subaru WRX.
Looking for Harry Potter magic? Coca-Cola's got it. With collectible Quidditch game cards in every specially marked multi-pack featuring your favorite characters from the film. Find the golden snitch, and you could get movie cash. Or you might even win a trip to London to improve your Quidditch skills. Live the magic of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
You don't have to accept thinning hair or baldness any longer. There is a solution, a natural and proven solution that will restore your own hair permanently.
Call 1-888-783-HAIR right now, and we'll send you your medical hair restoration information kit. You'll receive this award-winning video or DVD free.
You don't have to accept your hair loss. Do something on the outside that will make you feel great on the inside. Pick up the phone and call the number on your screen right now.
A day of Puerto Rico's biggest sports legends in some of their greatest games. Only on ESPN Classic. Follow Puerto Rico's own Roberto Clemente as he leads the Pirates to victory in the '71 World Series. Catch the Blue Jays and the Rangers Classic season opener from San Juan's Hiram Bithorn Stadium in 2001. Plus, a special profile of legendary Latin baseball player Orlando Cepeda. And much more. Classic Puerto Rico starts at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, Sunday, November 3rd, only on ESPN Classic.
You're watching Mark McGwire and the St. Louis Cardinals battling the San Francisco Giants from May of 1998 on ESPN Classic.
We will need some dramatics here in the 17th inning if the Cardinals want to extend this game a little bit further. It's 9-6 Giants after a 3-run top of the 17th, and the new pitcher now, Steve Reed. This guy's good. We saw him in San Francisco. He had a nice series against the Cardinals. Reed is 2-0, 1.57 ERA. He has allowed just 5 runs in 24 outings this year. He is normally the setup guy to Rob Nen. He pitched 2 innings here last night, walked 2, but didn't allow a run, so he was masterful against the Cardinals. And at 11-10, Cardinals win. He faces the most intimidating hitter in all of baseball, maybe in baseball history. Ozzie talked about it Friday night. He said the eyes, the concentration.
No blinking.
Sidearm to McGuire, swings and fouls it straight back. 0-1. Mack has a homer today. The Cardinals' club record has been extended. It is now 16 games in a row. And for McGuire, that's home run number 24. Can you believe that? 60 RBIs, 24 home runs, and we have a week of May left.
Unbelievable.
My goodness. There are the eyes. McGuire 0-2. Got him swinging.
Guys that drop down like this are very tough on right-handers.
That sent a few of the folks heading for the turnstiles as Langford steps in against Reed. Cardinals 2 outs away in this game from going down. They won game 1 here Friday night. They won here last night. They were going for a sweep of the San Francisco Giants. If they're to get it, they better shake it up. Colorado in here tomorrow, actually already here. The Rockies plane has landed. They're in the hotel. Or out to dinner, or visiting friends.
They're sleeping.
Or sleeping. Two strikes on Langford. Langford and Willie McGee. Ray singled in the 14th inning. That's his only hit of the day. He has struck out 4 times today. He was 0 for 5 prior to that single. 1 out of 6 in the game, 4 out of 14 in the series. 1 away, and Reed now goes to 3-2 on Langford. With a breaking ball. Tough day for Ray. He watched that breaking ball in under his fist and couldn't pull the trigger. So the Cardinals now down to their final out, and it's Willie McGee. Willie will go up there hacking. He's trying to keep this game alive.
Probably took that right off his shoe top.
Ouch. Line drive, left field, base hit. It was cutting in towards Barry Bonds, so McGee is aboard, and the Cardinals need another base runner if they can hope to tie things. Tom Pagnozzi will step in. Pags has doubled in this game, but that's all. He's 1 out of 7. If the Giants hold on, Jim Poole will be your winner. Reed will get a save. Merker would lose the game for the Cardinals. Strike one, 1-1, 2 outs here in the 17th inning. Longest game since a 1982 game or 1992 game against the Expos. We have seen plenty in this one. We've had our share of excitements and miscues. Mental mistakes can sometimes kill you, and they did to Kent Merker at the top half of the inning. An error on a sacrifice bunt where you really just want to get it out. As Pagnozzi flies it to Jeff Kent, and this marathon game is over. 9-19-2 for the Giants, 6-13-1 for the Cardinals. Reed saves it for Jim Poole. 6-14-1 for the Cardinals. Well, Ozzie, it was a long game, and mistakes wind up killing the Cardinals. The errant throw by Kent Merker, the big play late in this game.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where he kind of compounded the problem by trying to make a play after he had made a mistake, and it ended up costing the game.
Our next TV game, Friday in San Diego. Bob Carpenter will be with us. I'll be out there. Should be fun. Barry Bonds, the big 2-run homer to keep this one alive. And because he kept it alive, the Giants go on to win it 9-6. For Ozzie, I'm Rich. So long from Busch Stadium.